Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, doing the 11-year anniversary. So we're going back to my oldest series that I have done on this channel, Survival Harvey Adventures. We're returning back to the 7-year-old world which hasn't been used for a video in 7 years. Been used for a couple intros, but that's about it. So I'm going to give you lot a tour. So to begin with, we're going to go in my house. Probably the most iconic thing for me in this whole world, my house. So obviously my front door with my old username. We go in and you see the interior as it was in episode 1, from what I can remember. Through here we just got a couple of bits and bobs in these chests. We come through and in this room used to be Uniform's room, if any of you remember Uniform Train 3. That was his room in this house. This was our little meeting room where we'd sit down and we talk about things, which, you know, because there was never a series 2, they were pretty pointless speaking about them. Moving on. Coming up here, we're coming into my room. So this was my room in the house. This was my bed. That was my armor, because my character was my username at the time, Harvey Stampy, and his superhero name was Iron Cat. Now, I think at the time, I was still going with the whole Stampy thing. Like, Stampy was a cat, so, because I had a similar skin, my character was as well. I don't go by that logic now, but I would have at the time then. What's up here? I don't actually remember what's up here. Ah, another person's room. Why have they got ice? Okay. That was another person's room. This is another part of their room, I'm assuming. Where does this take you? I actually don't know where this takes you. That's another room there. How do I get there? We're all reliving this together at the minute. You know, even after all these years, I still make lifts the exact same way. How do you get into that room? How do you get in here? We'll figure this out. So down here was some garages. These were never actually in any of the episodes because they were supposed to be a part of season 2 from what I can remember, from how we'd planned them. But I guess we have to run back and through my house again. I'm assuming the way that you get into that room is through here, because this takes you back up to my room. This is again my room. What's through here? Ah, this was the old doghouse. So that would have been Serbo and Guy. I can't remember what these two were called, but this was the doghouse. And once it expanded the house, I didn't want to get rid of them, so I just moved them. This must be how you get in it. What? Is there no actual way to get into that room? Ah, this looks like it. This is it. This must be a fairly recent room then, because the barrel's been here. Oh, and the garage, of course. We had the garage. So this was someone's car. Someone's chair. I don't know why a chair's in a garage. But these were all the cars that we made. So, this was an MDA racer, which at the time, in this world, was one of the race cars. Well, MDA was the quote-unquote superhero team, a bit like the Avengers in this world, and I was a member of it. Hot Rod. What's this one? This one looks like it's fly. RMS car. If anyone's watching who helped me make these back in the day, maybe you will have some memory of them. Because I don't remember why we called them this. I know why this one was called that. Because this was supposed to be like a Dodge Charger, Dodge Challenger. This was a creepy Genie. Yeah, this was a creepy Genie. This again was another one of my friend's houses, but once he decided he was moving out of this house and he wanted a room in there, we combined the houses together, and we made this look derelict and abandoned, but we combined them together. Now come back outside of the house. This was the person who helped make my channel, Sky. This was her house in the world. This is before it even became a YouTube series. Before any of that was even thought of, this was her house. I don't know why there's random bits of snow in a jungle. For some reason I built statues of myself. That had some lore reason for this world, and I can't remember what the lore is. If anyone watching does, comment down below, because I don't know what it was. I'm not a very good tour guide. This was where me and the person who owned that house, Sky, did some horse racing. You know, horses were added to the game. And we killed some horses. These will have had potions in and stuff, and we killed some horses by accident probably, and that's why there's a rep sign. This is a cave. I don't know why it's here, but it is. I've not a clue why that statue exists. This was Uniform's house, so You don't know who Uniform was. Uniform also had a world like this. He never made his series, but he had a world like this. And this was his house in my world. Well, in my series. I can't remember if Uniform was actually ever in an episode, but this was his house. I think he might have been. I think he might have been in episode 1 or episode 2. But this was his home. I don't know why glass is broken, but this was his home. This was a hotel that we made. We was recording an episode in here once. I don't remember if the episode ever went out, but I said to the person who was recording it with, "You need some Calpol for that broken leg." And I just remember that ruining the whole recording because everyone was just laughing. But this was the hotel. This was the train station. Now this won't work. This world was made for console edition and this is Java edition. But we'll just have a quick fly. There's another part of the train station. I think this was like a water slide. Yeah, it looks like a water slide. Yeah, it was. Yes, definitely was because there's boats here. And this is when boats broke very easily. Yes, if we continue this way, on this little castle, we get to an area where we had some mini-games. Wasn't many mini-games. Yeah, here we go. This was some mini-games that were in the world. This was, I want to say golf? Yes, it was golf. Yeah, so this was the little golf course we had. I can't remember if anyone was actually any good at that, but we had it. And then we have the slime block parkour, which I know this worked in console. I don't know if it works in Java. I've got the electrons. I'm cheating. Oh, but there you go. You get the gist. And this was made in survival mode. This is before, well, not survival mode. This was made before world edit was a thing for this world, if that makes any sense. So, because this was a console world, there was no world edit, so everything was built by hand. So we'll slide back over here, and we'll continue the tour into some of the actual well-known bits that were very important to the series. So this building here, this was the MDA HQ, which again, like I said earlier, was the team for the series. This was another HQ, I think this was my personal HQ. Yes, it will have been, because it has my face on the side of it. And then this will have been, well, this was the ice lake where my character was frozen in the very last episode of the series. But this was the lake, the ice lake. So that's that part of the world. That was a dealership, and that, which means the dealership was there. That's the Titanic. Here's my submarine. So this was probably one of the very first builds ever made in this world. And it was my little old submarine. I wanted a submarine, so I made a submarine. But this part here, this was important. This is the entrance to Dr. Forehead's lair. Let's see if we can get in. This would have been closed. Well, it was closed like it was. Then we opened it. We came through with the boat. We closed it behind us. We didn't want anyone to know we were here. So we'll leave it open. Then we came through, came skipping down here without a boat. And we have to get past the treacherous lava trench, which is, I can just easily glide over. Then we went into his lair. But this door, we would have opened it from the outside and then we've flown in. This was his bedroom. This was his beacon. And then this was his rocket ship. Now, it wasn't as destroyed as this originally, but that was his rocket. And that rocket took us all the way up here to the planet where he has another beacon. Well, I think this is the same beacon. Yeah, it is the same beacon. And this took us all the way up here. This was like a docking bay, I think. Had a bunch of different computers. Planet stabilizer, that's what it is. It was the planet stabilizer. This planet must have had a rocky core. But this was where my character became what he was in the series. This is where he got his powers. And the evil Dr. Forehead. Now that I say it more and I think about it, it seems like a Toy Story script mixed with a Marvel movie. Now that I think about it more now, so there you go, they were probably my inspirations. And basically what I did was, I had to stand here, these would get thrown on me. I don't think this works anymore, no it won't. And then the trapdoor would open from below. And I'd fall down into the end, and then it'd fade to black. But I'm not sure if it did. And this is where the series began, in the Bedrock building. This was Dr. Forehead's room, because my character and Dr. Forehead were quote-unquote brothers. And that's where Dr. Forehead and my character began. Then in Series 2, the plan for this was, we was going to create a new character that's going to be an ally to my original character. Well, to my character. And they would have known all about the whole stuff that happened with Forehead. And this was going to be their base. And then we were going to take it all back and try and get me back to normal, but obviously wouldn't have worked, because then how would we have done a third series? You know, because we did 2, 100% we definitely did 2. So yeah, I think that's everything in this world. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want any more in-depth stuff in this world, comment down below. I might do another video in the future. So I want to thank you all for the happy 11 years. I hope we have a couple more. And yeah, I shall see you all again next time. Goodbye.